It's between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. A short kick taken at the 18.
No offensive return. The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football overtime, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big connection on that one. 35 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Powers through him. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Tyler Conklin, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0.
Cowboys nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this out to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the gun, here's Watson. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Second and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play here for Dallas. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Javon Kinlaw breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. A hole to dig out of here. Second and 17. Another try after the first down sack. Watson. This complete to Jones. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That'll be a gain of 16. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
And that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Now Jones. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Mike 46. Mike 46. Here we go.
Jones again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. Caught on the slant. Touchdown, Cowboys. Christian Kirk from 6 yards away. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied here in the second quarter. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, for an inside linebacker, I think you'd agree when I say that he is fast to the football, and he proved that thesis correct on that last play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Lawrence. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. Touchdown! Allen Robinson. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
The score, Eagles 14, Cowboys 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
A short kick taken at the 18. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
On 2nd and 7, Watson.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. 14-7. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now in the ball game. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But
he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Cowboys are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Second and 14.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Hardman on the return.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They hand this off to Harris. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
70 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down.
That's complete to John Ross. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Now Lawrence on first down.
He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And his kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
A short kick taken at the 18, and he won't quite make it to the 25.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. This is caught. It's Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Hey, I'm coming. 46 to Mike, 46.
On first down, Watson. He'll air this one out for Kirk. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
The final shot before the break. Watson going deep for Hopkins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
Do it! Okay, man,
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Paris Campbell now on the return. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. William Golston. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Switch up. Hey, check Mike 46. Check Mike 46.
Back to throw, Watson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Let's go, G. 46, boys. 46.
Watson now to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Larry Ogunjobi drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Dallas. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line.
84 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. This is Harris. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And they'll run again.
And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. They'll try and sneak it here. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And instead of having a 1-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A big play that time on the catch and run. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go play action with Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They go play action now. Lawrence. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And now that brings up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. William Golston able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Gonna need something special here on third and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
46, boys, 46.
Looking to throw. Watson. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Looking for Campbell downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Paris Campbell, 83 yards. And the Cowboys have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Pettis now on the return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football. High percentage throw.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30.
90 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. On first down, Harris. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now Harris. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday.
They've got his man complete. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Watson. Looking for Campbell downfield.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up. Now Watson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off at the 20.
And the Eagles have just about sewn up this football game.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception.